Hey everybody, it's Sean Ilg. This is the next installment in our series of social media influencers and great marketeers that have taught me a lot in the last couple of years. So let's go! Patrick Bet-David is a guy that has come on the scene the last few years for a lot of different reasons. He has a great origin story as being a refugee with his family, escaping Iran years ago when he was a kid, and he has really done a great job as an entrepreneur and as a social media star. Recently met him at a conference earlier this year and learned a great deal from him, absorbing some of his content before, but really have taken on a lot of things that he's put out here in the last few months. The purpose of this video today is to go through three main things that I have learned from Patrick during that time, and also please stay to the end because we've got a bonus fourth tip that I think you'll really enjoy. The first thing that we learned from Patrick was everybody needs to build two brands. There's obviously the business brand that we all have depending on what we do and so forth, but there's also the personal brand. Most people do one or the other, and they're not really looking at it in terms of combination. Patrick is very clear on the importance of doing both, and as he said to the audience that I was sitting in, you guys know me from my personal brand. He's got Valuetainment, 3-4 million subscribers, written books, and so forth. But he made it very clear that that's great, and he's made money from that personal brand. But that personal brand has really helped his business brand, which is really where his money comes from and long-term wealth is coming from. And that main business brand, in his case, is an insurance agency. He's got thousands of independent agents. I believe they focus on life insurance, but probably do some other things as well. But he gave a master class during the presentation showing how his personal brand, as that has grown, that has also grown his base business, and made it very clear that everyone, you, me, no matter what business we're in, online, brick and mortar, whatever the case is, we've got to take count and stock in having both that personal and business brand. Point number two is, and he actually just wrote his last book related to it, which I would highly recommend, and I'll put a link down below so you can get that, is everyone has to be thinking 5 moves ahead. Now, in my professional career, I have always said that is a big part of why I get paid. Most people are worried about what they're doing in the trenches, putting out fires that day and so forth, and I get it. But we've all got to be thinking 2 to 5 steps ahead at all times in terms of what those daily decisions are going to shake out, how that's going to affect things moving forward. But obviously, as you take time looking at what you want to do with your business and your personal life as well, thinking down the line and thinking those multiple moves ahead to see if there's some things, some decisions you need to be making today that are going to affect those moves later, or if there's a goal down the line that you need to be working backwards and fitting in some different things at this point. Not enough people do that. We all need to do a better job of it, and he did a great job laying out the reasons and importance for that. Tip number 3 is look at ways to diversify your content and be very purposeful in terms of what you're specifically doing. He gave some great examples. My favorite one that comes to mind was he had a close to 2-hour podcast with a financial guru that he had always looked up to. That podcast got 500,000 or 700,000 views, listens, which is great. But then showed specifically how he and his team broke that up into maybe 10-minute segments, and each of those segments got another couple 100,000 or more views. Combined, got 2 or 3 million views in total compared to the 500,000-600,000 that he got in general. All of us that are working in this space are either trying to learn the game, as I have been and am today, or even those that are masters of the game are always looking to stay on top of things, what's the best way to do things, what's the best platform to have, and so forth. But one common trait of when you were making content 10 years ago to today is, how do I do that the most efficient way? How do I splice, dice, repost, short form, long form, whatever the case may be? And when you really look at these examples, you can see that the splicing and dicing and repackaging can many times have a better and more hard-hitting cumulative effect for you moving forward. Guys, if you have enjoyed the content today, I would like you to I want you to decimate that subscribe button for me so you can get more content and we can continue to be buddies moving forward. The bonus tip I have for you today is Patrick made a big deal of an emphasis on data, both for his social media presence and then also specifically for his insurance business. He said early on he had people recommending looking into data, hiring outside firms, hiring people, whatever the case may be. He thought it was a joke. But soon after, when he started looking into some of these things and testing some different areas, saw the importance of that data, actually went out and made a big hire of a high dollar person to come in and manage that for him, and then saw immediate ROI. Now, those of us that are diving into the YouTube or already in the YouTube space, you've got the YouTube analytics, obviously. But as a guy who's owned various IT firms that have been involved in the data capture business, or clients have been in the data business, the amount of data out there right now about everything is stunning. I think that I've seen stats that say the data created in the last 6 months is more than all the data of the 100 years combined that came previous. Stats like that are unbelievable. The question is, what do you do with that data? What do you do with the data that's specifically tied to your business? So this is a very important subject for all of us, obviously, and I really appreciated Patrick laying it out and giving some real-world examples of what it has done for both sides of the house for him, so to speak, his personal brand business, the main insurance business, and so forth. I really appreciate you joining us today for this installment of influencers that have taught me a lot. Please check out the other videos posted, and we'll see you next time. Peace!